Okay. Hi, my name is Bhairavi. I'm a third year university student studying computer science and engineering. Um, I just want to go through each person. Just tell me your name and then tell me why you're interested in this class. Mostly because I want to um, kind of gear any assignments that I tell you to do towards something that you're interested in more than something that might like bore you. The first assignment will definitely be like a little bit boring, but it'll also be pretty small. And then after that, I'll probably like take into account whatever your personal interests are. Um, I don't know what order it's gonna show, but maybe I'll just um you guys can just start saying your names in when you feel comfortable.
I am R11. I am interested in coding like, because I am fascinated by computer programs and I want to learn about back-end programming. I have studied a little bit of uh, HTML, CSS, and then Python, but it was a long time ago. I barely remember it now, so it would be better if I go from the basics again.
Hello, my name is Krishalini, and I joined this course because I'm interested in like coding and web development. I've studied basics of web development using Wix and WordPress, and I studied a little bit of HTML, just the very basic, and I found it to be very interesting. So I'm here to learn more.
Okay, so my name is Kale. So the reason as to why I joined the class is because I'm interested in learning something new that will help me to have more skills in my life. So that's the reason. And then plus I have also learned a bit about the HTML everything. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Damshalini and I want to learn about coding because I'm excited to learn about the technologies and I have learned the simple coding like JavaScript last year, like HTMLs, but not too much.
Hi, my name is Sachintana. I'm really interested to learn it because I found it really interesting. I didn't learn much about it before, but I will try my best.
Hi, my name is Tirukshi. I would like to learn coding because my dream job is to be a programmer.
Hello, my name is Mizuna, and this is my first time to learning computer, so I'm interested in learning computer class.
Hi, my name is Prayalagan. I before I was study coding because 5 years ago, and now I forget everything. I want to improve my skill. That's why I come here.
Hello, my name is Kirtana, and I would like to study computer class because I don't know how to use computer like very skilled. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's everyone, right? I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna stop sharing my video because I'm gonna be writing down. Um, sorry, can someone let me know if you guys can see my screen?
You can see your screen.
Okay, thanks. So the material that we're gonna cover today is gonna cover something called pseudocode. I'm not sure if you guys have heard that term before. It's not very complicated though, don't worry, I'll explain. And then I'm gonna cover some variable types. Um, I'll explain what that is later. I'm writing down because I do feel like it's easier to understand when you see it written out. And if you guys are also wanting to take notes, it's easier for you guys as well, for you to remember what we cover in class. But I'll also be like going through all many examples using an actual coding interface so you guys can see like what it is to write it out properly and type it out and everything. And then just some string handling. You guys might not know what these words mean right now. Don't worry about that. I'll like properly go into I'll start from the beginning. So don't worry. I know a lot of you do have quite a bit of knowledge already, especially the people that have started with HTML. I also started with HTML and I found that it was really helpful for going into Python and other languages. Okay, so pseudocode. I'll be using pseudocode probably throughout the, I'm not sure how many weeks we said exactly, but 7 or 8 weeks that we'll be doing this. It's pretty much just writing out code in language that's really close to English. To properly understand the concepts that I'll be teaching. So you guys might not understand some of the words and the jargon that I might be using. So I'll be using pretty simple English as much as I can, and slowly introducing you to technical terms throughout. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is variable types. In Python, the most important ones are int, bool, string, and float. Oh, also, by the way, if you guys have any questions throughout, you guys can feel free to unmute, or you guys can write something in the chat if you'd like. So the way that you use variable types is pretty much to declare any variable that you use. You might not understand what that means yet, but in the examples that I'm going to do in a second, you will hopefully get it a little bit more. I just wanted to introduce these concepts to you before we started because it's going to be needed for some of the examples. So int is any variable that you might declare in your program, anything that you might use pretty much that is a number, a whole number. So whether that's 1 or 1,000 or any random number, 5,658. I don't know. Bool, it's short for bool. Oh, int is short for integer. I'm not sure where you guys are in math, but probably know what an integer is. Bool is either true or false. There's only 2 options. So pretty much you might want to ask your user a question and you can have 2 options, true or false, and the user can say yes or no. Next is a string. Anything that's going to be surrounded in quotations. I'm going to do double quotes right now, but usually people, when you write code, you'll usually be using single quotations in Python specifically. So that might be one that you guys have probably seen, hello world. Or it could be anything. It could be your name, so my name. Or it could even be, since this is surrounded by quotations, it could be the number 1, 2, 3. The difference between this and this is here, the computer recognizes this as an integer automatically because there's no quotation. Here, there's quotations. Oh, sorry. So the computer automatically recognizes this as a string instead of an integer. And the last thing is a float. That's going to be any decimal number, whether that's 1.0 or it's 5.658. Either way, those are both floats. So we're going to use this concept in an example right now. And we're also going to learn about this is just input / output. So I'm not sure, you guys can let me know in the chat if you guys have learned functions at all in math. Totally fine if you haven't. I can also just use equations as an example. Okay, I'm going to take that as a no. Sorry?
I was going to say I haven't read it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just going to use equations. So pretty much you can see this as like an equation, or even you could see it as a recipe. You put ingredients into it. So you might put ingredients into it. And what comes out is, I don't know, a cake or cookies or something, anything, you know? So pretty much and this is like our input. And this is our output. So as an example, we're going to use finding the area of a triangle. I'm sure you guys know the equation for this. So our first example is going to be finding the area of a triangle. So let's say we have a triangle. I'm going to draw it. It's not going to be very, it's a triangle. I'm sure you'll be fine. Never mind. Okay, there. Sorry. So we're going to say the height of this triangle is 5 and the base of this triangle is 10. And as we know, the area of a triangle is equal to base times the height divided by 2. This is a formula that we all know. Hopefully you guys know it. If you don't know it, you know it now. So if you look at this drawing here, we know that the base is equal to 10 and the height is equal to 5. These two things, what we've just defined here, base and height, these are variables. And the type, because they're numbers and there's no quotation, we know that the type is int. Because if we look up here, it doesn't have any quotations around it. So we know that the type is not string. We know it's not string, so we know that it has to be int. The second thing we're going to do is set up the equation. So we have the area is equal to base times height divided by 2. And then we have our output. Our output here is area. Also here in this scope, we've also defined area as another variable. That's all there is to it. So our input here is these two things are inputs, and area is our output for this specific program. So in this example, actually let me put it onto the computer. So I'm gonna actually code this for you guys and show you how I would do it. Give me a sec. So this is a website that I use, and I'm gonna ask you guys to use it too. I'll try and find something better soon for more complicated things that we might want to write. Sorry, let me go to chat. Okay. So I've dropped the link into the chat for everyone to see. And when you go to that link, you go to this website right here. I'm just going to literally write exactly what I wrote on the page earlier. Okay. So I wrote base is equal to 10 and height is equal to 5 and area is equal to base times height divided by 2. And to output our area, we're just going to do print area. And when we run it, we see that the output is 25. And we know that the area of this triangle would be 25. So that's how it works. Another way to do this, so pretty much in this example, I've directly written in the base and the height of the triangle, right? But what if you want to get this answer from the user? So what if like I want to make this program available online, like if you were to go on Google and search up area calculator like that, then you like won't always have the same base and height depending on like whatever triangles you have, right? So let's say I want to ask the user, whoever's using this program, and to tell me what they want their base and their height to be. What you use is this function that's part of Python. You just do input. You set these two things to input. And let's say here I want to keep doing, I want my base to still be 10, and I want my height to still be 5. Then in this little window here, it says std in. That means standard dictionary in. We're going to pretty much, okay, so when the program, when it sees this line, it'll say base is equal to input. This first input line is defined by whatever is in the first line of this little box, okay? And height is equal to input. This height is now going to be attached to this 5 because it's in the second line of input. And we're going to keep the rest of this the same. The only thing that I'm going to change in here is that I'm going to do this thing. You guys don't need to fully understand this right now. You'll get more used to it as we go on. Pretty much, as I said before, when a number is surrounded by this, when it's surrounded by quotations, it's recognized as a string by Python. Whereas if there's no quotations, it's recognized as an int. When we have these numbers in the std in box and we're using this function called input, we automatically, the Python compiler, it's automatically going to see 10 as a string. It'll automatically, without us even doing it, the imaginary quotations are going to be there. So that means that we actually can't, we can't use any multiplication or division on a string because Python is thinking that this is like a word. It's thinking it's like hello world or Bhairavi or something like that. If it thinks that base and height are like hello world and Bhairavi, they can't multiply words with each other. That doesn't make any sense. So it's just going to give us an error. Let's see if I didn't put that, and if I were to run this, it would say this. This is called a Python error. Let me make this a little bigger so you guys can see it properly. But so if I didn't do that, put the int function around this input, if I hadn't done that, then we get this error. You can't multiply sequence non-int of type string. Because this is a string and this is a string, you can't multiply them together because that doesn't make sense. So you have to put this integer casting. It's called typecasting. I'll write it out in a bit so that you guys can see it properly and you guys can maybe take a note of it as well. When I do this and I run it, it'll work. And I can put whatever base and height I want. I can put in 2 and 17. And when I run it, it'll give us 17. And like that, the program works for anything that you might want to put in. So this way, you guys can get interactive feedback and answers from your user. And you guys can, it will be able to specialize towards whatever your user wants to use it for. Okay, so let me write all that down now. In this example, so that's the one that I did above. Before I did the inputs, I just used the base, this one. In this example, I wrote, or the technical term, or the term that we use in the industry, or like in general for this, is hard code. So I wrote the input values into the program. But that, as we can see from the example I showed you, that's not necessary. What you have to do here, do you guys think it would be helpful for me to rewrite the example? If I just did, I can just do that. Base is equal to input, and height is equal to input, and these are both from the user. Area is still equal to the same thing. We're just gonna print area. We're gonna learn more about this print function in a second, but let me write this here. Must be typecasted because input Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope I explained it properly. Let me know if you have any questions right now. You can pull up the chat if you don't want to unmute. Are you sure? No questions? Stupid questions are very necessary towards learning. So if you're confused at all, you can let me know.
Yes, I have one, but it's not about this program.
Okay.
It's from the variable types. Can you go over the variable type bool again?
Yes, for sure. I think we will go through it later in the class as well, because I think that this type of bool is going to be used more in further things. I don't know. I feel like I can only explain it to you in the context of an example, but we need a little bit more knowledge before we get to that point. So I think either next class or the week after, we're going to go through this something called if-else statements. And when we get to if-else statements, we're going to be dealing a lot more with bool. But all you need to know right now is just that bool the only things that are Boolean It's all just true or it's false. Those are the only options of what a Boolean can be. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so if there's no questions about this, then I'm going to continue going with some string handling. And this is going to be the last thing that we're going to talk about because, oh, never mind, we can actually do more if we need. Okay, so as we learned already, strings are anything that's surrounded by quotations. I wrote it out as double quotations here, but mostly in Python, you would write it in one. So it would be like this. But you can use double quotations or single quotations as long as both quotations match. So that is to say, I could not do this. That would not make sense, and Python would not understand that. But they either have to be both single or both double. So the first one we're going to do is, if I wanted to print out just exactly welcome, what would I need to write? This one is pretty easy. All you would have to do is write print, and then don't forget the quotations. Welcome. So earlier in the other example here, as you can see right here in this line, the highlighted yellow line, I wrote print area. The reason why that is not surrounded by quotations, but I'm telling you that anything else, like any string, would have to be surrounded by quotations, like welcome. There. So the reason is that area, we already defined area as a variable in this line over here. And so here in this line, when we say print area, Python knows what we're talking about. If I were to do print area in quotations, then it would just print literally area. It would not print the actual area. Next example is almost the same thing. I wanted to write out, if I want this to be my output. In the black, this is going to be my output. I want to say hello. And then I want to skip a line and I want to say my name is Bhairavi. I wanted to say that. Then I need to use, I can just, so for reference, this is what I wanted to print out. Hello, my name is Bhairavi on two different separate lines. I'm going to say print hello, period, and then print my name is Bhairavi, period. The print statement in Python, it will automatically have a new line or like an enter right after it. So automatically it's going to be on two separate lines. And another way to write this is using the new line character. The new line character is written as this. It's a backslash and then an N. Okay. And what the new line character does is, say I want to write hello, my name is Bhairavi in 2 lines, but I don't want to waste 2 print statements on it. It's just like, say I'm being lazy and I want to just I want to write it on 2 separate lines, but I want to write it in one statement using just one print statement, I might use hello, and in the same quotation, see this? It's in the same quotation. I'm going to write an N right here. You might think that it will print this \n, but it will not print that \n. Python will automatically see this as a new line. So when I run it, it's going to print the same thing. I can do another new line and say maybe what is your name? And would say it on another line. And if I got rid of this, if I got rid of that and just kept it like that, then hello, my name is Bhairavi, what is your name? Is going to end up being on the same line now instead. Okay, I'm going to write those 2 examples out on my notes. So again, the first example is just using the regular print function because automatically, once again, it has a new line character at the end. Or you could use the new line character as I showed you. I just wrote out the name for you in case you guys wanted to know the spelling of it. Okay. Next thing is, also just something to remember is that the new line character doesn't add anything else except pretty much what would happen if you were to press the enter button, or the return button on your keyboard. So yeah. You want to keep the spacing the same. So say I want to have, like, say I didn't want to have a space here. This will add a space, but you won't see it, but it will add a space after the hello. You don't need this space right here. You don't need that. Okay, yeah, that's it. Anytime that like Python sees this, it automatically knows that that's a new line. If you want to have that this in your string that you want to print out, there's another way to do that, but we can go over that later if that's a specific issue that you guys want. Okay, and then say I want to say hello. You. I want to say this, but I want to use 2 print statements to do it. That means that I want to, like, in this same way, how there's 2 print statements here, I want to do that, but I want everything to end up being on the same line. There's a lot of reasons you might want to do this, but we can go over that later. The way that you do it is you would just have to say print hello, like regular. But instead of having this end parentheses there, you would have another thing. You'd have a comma, and then you would say end equals, and then this is just empty quotations. So there's quotations, but there's nothing inside of it. You'll be able to see it properly when I write it out. when I type it out. And then if I were to write how are you? So for reference, this is the output that we want, right? Just gonna get rid of stuff. Also, I'm gonna use this pretty much when you do a print statement with nothing inside of it, it's just gonna print out an empty line. I just want to use that to separate this part and that part. So I'm going to write out this example. So do you see this empty quotations? That's going to set the end of this line instead of the automatic new line that they usually have. This is setting the end of this line to just nothing. So it's not going to add that automatic new line. So as we saw in an earlier example, usually you would expect two print statements to end up on two different lines. Like if I were to do this, without the end versus with the end. You see that this will print it on two lines because, oh, sorry. We have two separate print statements and the end is set as the automatic new line. And this one, they're both on the same line. Another thing you can see is that there's no space here. You have to, like, by yourself, put in this space. When you do that, you can see there's a space between the hello and how are you. Okay, and the last thing we're gonna do is gonna be we're gonna use this area example that we used from before. Say we wanted to print out so using the earlier area example. Say we want to print out exactly the area is 25.0. Then we would have to write, instead of area, we would write in quotations, we write the area is, and then the colon and a space. And then we write, since we defined this variable as based on height divided by 2, we know that this variable area is equal to the area. So we're going to do a comma, and then we're going to just write area. And when we run that, it's going to say the area is, oh, sorry, it's because these numbers are different. But if I did the 5 and the 10, there, you have the area is 25.0. Another thing to mention that might be helpful for you is whenever you do any type of multiplication or division in any type of equation that you might be using in your program, even if you give integer inputs into this, you're still going to end up getting a float. A float, as we learned before, is any decimal number, please. Sorry. You're still going to end up getting a float answer. So this is 25.0. It's not 25 because this is using multiplication here. If you wanted it to print out as just 25, you could typecast right here in the print statement. Pretty sure it should work. Yeah. You can typecast right here in the print statement. That way it'll just say 25 instead of 25.0. So now I'm going to give you guys something pretty small to do. And I just wanted to put you guys to put your answers in the chat directly to me if you guys know how to do that. Just because I don't want anyone to, I want to know what you guys, like what level you guys are on with this. To see if there's anything that I should focus on a little bit more. So I'm going to give you like a very simple print state. So say I wanted you to print out and I want it to say exactly, hello, my name is, and I want you to write your name. So for me, it's going to be Bhairavi, but your name is going to be something different. And I want it to be a new line. So you can either use, as we learned before, the new line character for that, this new line character, or you can use, just use the regular 2 print statements. So either way is fine, you guys, it's up to you. I want it to print exactly, hello, my name is Bhairavi, and I want it to say, or not Bhairavi, your name, whatever your name is. And I want it to say, what is your name? Question mark. But the tricky part is I want you to define your name as a variable, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So in the same way that we defined area as a variable here, I want you to define area as a variable first. I mean, not area, name. I want you to define name as a variable first. And then I want you to put it into the statement. And I'm going to leave this up on the screen so you guys can figure it out using the example that I've already given you. And then I want you to directly message me your answers. I'll give you like 3 or 4 minutes to do it. Okay, so I've only gotten 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but it's been 5 minutes, 6 minutes. So, thank you so much for sharing, those of you who have shared. I'm not going to use your direct names and examples, but I'm going to show you some little discrepancies. So we're going to use my name. If we were to say print, for context, in Python, when you use this hashtag, it comments out whatever line. So I can write whatever I want, and the program is not going to pick it up. It's not going to see it. So I'm just going to write out the original thing of what I asked for. So I asked for, hello, my name is, it'll say Bhairavi. And then on a separate line, what is your name? Question. So as you can see, hello and my name is Bhairavi is going to be on the same line. And then what is your name is going to be on a different line. Let's say I said print hello. And then if I were to do a new line here, by the way, make sure you're doing the backslash and not the forward slash. If you do a forward slash, your program is not going to be picked up. So if you do this, if I said print hello /n, and if I ran that, it would print out this n. Whereas, and then if I did like my name or whatever, it would print out literally exactly what's in the thing. But if I do a backslash, it's not going to see it. So make sure you're doing a backslash here if you wanted it to be, but As you can see in my example, I did not use another line here, so this is not necessary here. Hello. My name is, and say I did this outside. I wrote Bhairavi. Python has no idea what Bhairavi is. It has no idea who I am. That is not something that is previously defined. If I did, for example, Bhairavi is equal to Bhairavi, then, oh wait, what? Oh, sorry, you have to do a comma here. Hello, my name is Bhairavi. That would work. What's better is to name this name and then say, hello, my name is, comma, name, because we named this variable name. Hello, my name is Bhairavi. And then you can do this second line on another print statement like this. Print. Oh, sorry. Is your name. You could do it like that. If you wanted to, for example, if you wanted to, for example, use the input function that I said earlier, you'd have to say, so input. When I do this, name is equal to input Bhairavi. That doesn't make any sense. You can't put anything in this bracket here, or else it will print it out immediately. And when I do name, it runs this input function once again. And since there's the thing in the input function, in the input box right now is this 5, it says my name is 5. What is your name? Okay. So if you do want to do input, you'd have to do it like that. Hello, my name is Bhairavi. What is your name? Oh, also, if I have a period, I know I didn't put this in the example that I told you to do, but if I wanted to put a period here, all I have to do is do another comma, separating it, and have a period. There. Oh, also Python automatically will put spaces between, but there is a way to get rid of this space. I think it's, oh, sorry. I don't actually remember what it is. Sorry. I usually code in C++, not Python. But anyway, this was the first things that we're going to learn. We're at an hour now, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to give you a really small assignment that I just want you to email to me before next week. This is my email. It's really small. I just want you to give me a program that includes the functions that we learned about today. I can also, my notes are kind of messy, but in case you guys didn't take notes, I can email all of you this document as well, if necessary. I just want you to be using the concepts we used today in order to just show me what you've learned. Let me think. I just want it to print out exactly. I want the output to be exactly. Oh, let me edit this. Okay, so I want this to be your output. I can also email this to you, or I can put it in the group chat. My age is 21. This 21 is going to be replaced by whatever your age is. So my age is 21. What is your age? Your age is 19. Your age multiplied by my age is 399. So this 21 is going to be whatever your actual age is. And this question is going to be on the next line. And here, your user is going to ask for an input. You're going to use this input function here. As a clue, you might want to do set a variable called their age. Oh, variable names have to be one line. So a lot of the time people will use dots, I think. Oh wait, no, it's, yeah, underscores for Python. Their age, or you can call it age 2, maybe. And you want that to set that equal to the input as seen in earlier things. What is your age? Your age is 19, and here you're going to print out whatever their age was set to. And here you also want to set your age as a variable first, so age equal to 21, and then print out as seen here. Then this line using another input, you can put any random number for this. Your age multiplied by my age is 399. So we saw earlier using this example how we use multiplication, using the triangle example, how we use multiplication. And I want you to remember, I wrote it in the notes here, so you guys don't forget, but this has to be a integer. When you do multiplication, remember how I said earlier how it will automatically become a float? I want you to print it as an integer. So that's a clue to what you might need to do. So here, I want this to be defined as age as variable. And I want you to hard code it. So we learned what hard coding was earlier, right here. And what is your age is just a sentence. Your age is 19. I want you to define as variable using the input function. And don't forget to convert float type to int type. Sorry, you can't see that whole sentence right now. There. And that's your assignment. That's it. I just want you to email me this. Make sure you use this website to test your code. You can test it pressing run every time. Sorry, that's not going to work because this is all Python doesn't recognize any of this, obviously, because it's just regular words. But yeah, that's your assignment. I can put this in the group chat as well with all these comments in case that helps. I'll put it in the chat as well. And that's it for today. Sorry, it ran a little bit over. And please email me before the end of next week, before next Friday. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,